the 150 gamer, Dean Smith, and our Sporting Globe Player of the Day as well. Dean, congratulations. A great win for your club. You're alive heading into next week. What did this afternoon mean for the boys?
Oh, it was make or break. So we just gave it our all. Look, second quarter, credit to Keilor. They come really hard and intensity was up, and we had to regroup at half time and come out hard again in the third, and we did that, so we're happy.
Were you aware of how long they went without kicking a goal, didn't kick one in the second half? Is that something that the players and the defenders talk about, even sledge about out there, hey, Keilor, when's the last time you kicked a goal? Or was it the sort of game where the contests and the battle were so engaging that you weren't actually spending that much time looking at the scoreboard? Yeah,
look, it was finals-like intensity out there today, so you sort of try to focus on your own match and what you're doing as a team, but, you let them know. You let them know a little bit if you can. Let them know what's happening out there. Yeah.
Dean, well done on the win and well done on your performance today. Sporting Globe Player of the Day. Obviously, you'll get the voucher. There was a bit of heat at times in this game today, and from up here, it seems like you don't mind that when a bit of heat comes into the contest.
Oh yeah, when you get a bit slower, I'm touching 30 now, so when you get a bit slower, you got to add something else to your game. So no, it's all good. It's good getting involved, and as I said, intensity was up, so everyone was having a crack, and it was a really good game to be a part of.
And I guess one of the reasons that you're at 150 and some of the other guys that you've come through with are at 200 was that hand injury. You missed the flag in 2012. Yeah. Did you win the medal best on last year in the end?
No. Eric Chirrut won.
You won our vote in the commentary box. That's right. You were our best on.
Yeah.
Now, you've obviously come back and had a great final series and got a bit of redemption and felt that premiership feeling. And we were just speaking to Stephen Paxman about the hunger within the group. Who is actually driving the dressing room now, saying, we're still the champs, we've got to go back and defend? And who are the guys that are making sure complacency hasn't crept in after that slow start to the year?
Well, look. To be honest, we've had a few player meetings through the year. We probably felt that we were being a bit complacent. So, big drivers from the playing group. But as Paco says, we're in good form. Last 4 or 5 matches, look, we did lose to Strathmore, but we're in good form. So, if we make the 4, hopefully we can give it another shake.
Dean, congratulations on the game today.
Cheers, mate.
I think that I spoke to Steve about the forward line. It must have been really nice working from the midfield to see so many forwards presenting. We had Jacob Thompson, we had Simon Potter, we had, of course, Benny Clifton having a really good game, but they presented really well today. It must make it easier for you guys in the mids.
Yeah, it does. Look, I think those boys are starting to come back into form as well. Keilor, to their credit as well, flooded back, and it was hard to hit them up part of the day, but they started taking some pack marks, and it's just great for us, to see those boys be able to take a big grab when the heat's on. Yeah.
Dean, how would you best describe what exactly your role is in this team?
Look, yeah, usually I play a wing, so as I try to get forward and then come back and help out the defence, and cover roles and just let people know where they've got to be, and a bit of communication out there.
Speaking of the wing, we saw you maybe getting a little bit closer to the Keilor huddle at quarter time, at 3/4 time there.
We did notice that.
Than the wing position suggests. But did you catch any notes there from Mick Maguire?
Oh, look, I could hear him. To be fair, it was towards the end of his speech. But look, credit to Mick. He's a great coach and he speaks really well. So I just wanted to go over and sort of have a listen to what Mick had to say. But yeah, credit to Mick. He's a really good coach, and he's good luck to him.
And just lastly, on Marby next week, obviously they're battling against relegation. We're waiting on full-time scores, but last we heard Douttas were beating Airport West, which means Marby might start the day in last on the table. Does that add a bit of an edge, knowing that it's not just finals for you guys, it's potentially knocking them out of Premier, a team that's beaten Greenvale in 2 grand finals in recent memory?
Yeah, look, I don't think it matters to us. I don't think we're going to worry about Marby Park getting relegated. I think really it just adds a bit of spice to the game. They're going to be going 100%, try to survive it, and look, we're going to be trying to push into the 4. So our motivation's purely going to be on us and trying to make the 4 for us. We're not worrying about who gets relegated.
Well, congratulations on your performance today.
Thanks,
you are
mate,
the Sporting Globe Player of the Day. If you can just hold up the card for the camera for us a little bit higher. Yes. Excellent. Thanks very much. Congratulations. It's $40 to spend at 690 Mount Alexander Road in Moonee Ponds, and well done on the win and your own performance.
Thanks so much, guys.
Dean Smith joining us in the box from the Greenvale Football Club. Stephen, thanks for joining us, and congratulations on what was a very impressive win and a great defensive effort as well.
Yeah, it was. Look, over the last sort of 5 to 6 weeks, we've really, worked on our team defence, and it's sort of paying dividends, and things have been going really well. It was a pretty tough game there for the first half. The ball was moving around quite quickly, but I thought, at the end of the day, we were able to wear them down, and our pressure at their ball carrier was was very good.
Steve, we had our boundary riders, Tony and Tamara, constantly in and out of the bench today, and the message constantly coming back to us was the belief in this group, obviously. Even though the odds may be stacked against you mathematically, the belief that you still want to play finals and be a factor in this 2014 season, it still stands to be pretty high.
Yeah, for sure. Look at, it's never over until it's over, so, all we could do was win games of footy, and that's what we've been able to do, and we've addressed a few things, and we've got our training levels up and about, and at the end of the day, we could be our own worst enemy in what we've done early in the season, but all we can control is what we can control, and that's winning a game of footy, and how the cards fall.
And that belief, though, it seems to be manifesting itself out on the field, especially today.
Look, it's at the end of the day, it's still a good football team, but it is when you do believe, you actually things tend to work for you. So
we shouldn't forget that, should we? This side has won back-to-back grand finals.
Yeah.
Steve, congratulations on the win. I thought the foot skills today were pretty good, and obviously the efforts from the back line, you must be really happy with them defensively, as you suggested you were with the entire group defensively.
Yeah, our back half's been pretty good all year. We haven't had, I think I was doing the count, we've only conceded 100 points 4 times during the year, so our backs are really good one-on-one, but as I said, we talked about team defence, and when the pressure up the field from our mids and our forwards is as great as it was today, it certainly makes their job a lot easier, and maybe at the end of the day they talk about forwards getting the rewards, but your back line looks good when the pressure up the field is so great.
And just on the forward line, I thought today that you guys took plenty of marks inside 50. It was probably a little bit disappointing that you'd probably didn't make the most of some of those opportunities, but structurally, how did you think the forward line functioned?
Really well. I mean, we've had been really working on the on keeping the guys moving and trying to isolate, because long high balls in are really difficult to defend. But when the ball's in, coming a bit lower and flatter, it certainly makes the forwards' job a bit easier. So we've been working well, and delivery's been improving too.
It probably doesn't matter who your opponent is next week, because you've got to win either way. But it is Maribyrnong Park. They've had a loss today, and there's a pretty bit of history between Greenvale and Maribyrnong Park.
It is, and I've actually been a bit of that history as well, playing in some grand finals back when I was running around here. So.
How big is it next week for Greenvale?
Oh, look, it's absolutely as big as it was this week. We lose, we're done. Simple as that. We win, we've got a chance. So, we talked about that today was a big game, but last week against Pascoe was a big game, and the week before that was a big game. Any one that we lose, we're done. So, it's good to be able to have some control. We'd like to have more control, but we're not in the opportunity to have as much control as we'd like.
Steve, just on a practical level, how does it work with you taking filling in for Adem McPhee during the middle of the season? Is it sort of your licence now to do what you think needs to be done, or does Adem oversee that from abroad?
Adam's got his hands full, certainly, with what's going on overseas. We'll communicate once a week via email, and I'll just give him some feedback on how we go. Look, as a senior coach, you always implement your own little way that you want to play. But in saying that, though, we've kept pretty true to what Adem was implementing at the start of that. Certainly the hard press that Adem brought in is something that helps you win games of football, and that was certainly evident today. So when you've got control of a footy team, you certainly put your own little stamp on it, and I've got a certain way that I want to play. And Adem and I, when I come on board, spoke before the before the start of the season, we share similar philosophies, so it works pretty well.
Is it you from here on, regardless of how far Greenvale goes?
Yeah, me from here on. McPhee's not due back until probably late September, early October.
So you've been the coach of a Premier Division team before at Paco. At what stage do you think about next year? Do you have to wait until the full-time siren blows, whether it's next week, whether it's elimination, grand final day, or whenever, or have talks already started for you to be the coach of this team into the future?
No talks have started on that at all. As I understand it, the agreement with McPhee was more than 1 year. So look, after a stint at Pascoe with work commitments, have made it a little bit difficult for me to coaching. And I said to Bruce Kent, who I've known for quite some time, that I'm more than happy to help out at any role. And prior to taking over, I was actually coaching the twos and really enjoying my time there. The reason I came back is because it's a great club with a great bunch of people running it and a great bunch of blokes.
Steve, and sorry, does the VFL fixture do you any favours next week? Do you get Zumbo or Marek back, or have you even looked that far ahead?
No, I haven't looked that far again. I sort of have, but I don't believe that we get them. So it'd be nice to have, but anyway.
How would you describe the hunger of this group, considering they've won back-to-back flags already?
It's improving from the start of the year, put it that way. So,
Does that mean it wasn't great at the start of the year?
Oh, look, when a new coach comes in, things always change, and it's hard not to get a little bit complacent when you've won 2 flags. It wouldn't be lying if we said that our hunger may not have been there. We sort of questioned them probably 6 weeks out, and what we've seen so far, barring probably 2 quarters of footy against Airport West and Strathmore, they've certainly responded really well.
Steve, I thought Dean Smith was really good today, offensively as well as defensively, as we'd expect. Yeah,
I thought he was really good too. I mean, he was had a reasonable bad case of the man flu when he was touch and go to play this morning. But we had quite a few out. With the touch of the flu, but it's Melbourne for you.
He really deserves the globe then.
What was the cheering off for?
150.
150, okay.
Yeah, so at any local club to play, that's 150 senior games, so it's a fantastic event.
Stephen, all the best next week against Marby. Congratulations on the result today.
Thanks, gents.
And, we may well see you in the elimination final. Depends how it all goes.
We'll see how we go. Thanks, boys.
It's time to talk about Keilor because Jarrod Dixon is here in the box with us. A really frustrating afternoon, goalless after half-time. What do you and Mick and the coaching staff put it down to?
Oh, absolutely. The first half I thought we were really competitive, especially in the second quarter, and I thought they come out and absolutely smashed us at stoppages, around the ground. Their use of the ball was phenomenal. I think it was 120 possessions to about 50, and they were just better. They got the players free, running through the midfield, and we just couldn't keep up with them. They played really, really good football today.
Jarrod, conversely, did you think that your players had a poor day today, or did you think that it was just the Greenvale execution that beat you guys today?
I thought, Greenvale's execution was pretty good all day. I thought the first quarter, they were very good, Greenvale. We probably weren't up to it, and we worked ourselves back into it in the second quarter. I thought our structures held up really, really well. And at half-time, being only a few points down, we thought we were really in this game. And then they just took it up to another level, especially in that third quarter. Third quarter, obviously, they looked like they had something to play for. They were striving to keep it, stay in the finals race. And they were just better than us all over the ground.
One of our boundary riders was listening to the 3-quarter time huddle, and Mick pretty much said that you guys don't look like a top 4 team. You're not playing like a top 4 team today. If you are playing finals in 2 weeks' time, how different does the psyche and the mindset have to be, and how you guys go about it compared to what we saw today?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It looked like a side who are striving to stay in finals versus a side who thinks they have another week. And we were definitely not a top 4 side today. We've got to regroup quickly, work out what we have to do as a team, the best avenue to beat Avondale Heights next week. And finals is really irrelevant to us. We've just got to really start the game against Avondale Heights, get through 4 quarters of footy there, and if it comes our way, then I think we focus on finals and how we play. Mentality will always change. We're striving to get in finals after, 3 or 4 years of football. So I think once we're in there, we're a final side, and that mentality might change.
So it's sort of a case where you can't really mention the F word too much at the moment.
It's a waste of time because we're not there. We're not guaranteed. They have a better percentage. We know what we dished up today versus a side who wants to play finals, so we've just got to get through next week. It's relevant.
I've got to interject before the next question. We do have a final score. Hold on to your hats. Airport West 15-12, 102. Essendon Doutta Stars 14-17, 101.
Again.
Oh, wow. 1
point. Anyway, we'll discuss that more after the interview is complete.
We need that live light attack.
Now, the situation with individuals, they're going to be feeling pretty low. Is there anyone that goes around the club, if it's not Mick, is there an assistant coach that is sort of the player's mate, the one that pats them on the back, that goes around and tries to lift the spirits, or is that still maybe Mick or the captain's role, the guy that goes to someone who had a quieter or poor day today and tries to get them up for the match against Avondale Heights next week?
The great thing about our club is honesty, and it's pointless patting someone on the back if they don't deserve it. Mick, as we all know, is an extremely good coach. We'll know as a coaching structure, as a group, of where we've got to be and what we've got to do. So we'll definitely regroup. We'll definitely get the boys together. We'll have a chat about today, and then we'll move straight on because it's really irrelevant now for where we have to head.
Will you guys review this game any differently to how you normally would go about a review?
Absolutely
considering
not. No, absolutely not. We'll review it exactly the same way. It's pointless changing it. So we'll go watch the tape. We'll have a look at it. Go through everything that we think is a common trend that might be good or might be bad, and then just try and fix it, and if it needs fixing.
Jarrod, just on a practical level, we saw Josh Esposito carried off in the last quarter.
Yes.
His state at the moment, he's all right?
Well, when it went down, everybody thought it was a broken ankle.
Oh, okay.
But he's obviously sore. But it was actually, the longer he was off, the better he got. Obviously on crutches, but we won't know a result until he gets to the hospital and has a look at it.
So he will be going to hospital for scans?
Yeah, obviously. We'll get him straight in there and have a look to see how he pulls up.
And is it presumptuous of us to say that the only way you'll beat Avondale Heights next week is in a low-scoring slog, or is there something that the team can do to throw open the floodgates and release the shackles and kick a high score to go toe-to-toe with their obviously scoring power?
Yeah, good question there. Obviously, I think it'll come down to a defensive game. We've got to try and stop their two guns. But we can score highly if we want to. We've done it this year. So again, there's a lot of factors that weigh into how we want to play footy. Again, weather, conditions, stuff like that. So again, we've just got to review. We've just got to see, probably on a Tuesday night, where we're at and what we need to do.
Well, Jarrod, thanks for joining us in the box. All the best against Avondale Heights next week. We may well see you in the elimination final, so good luck next week and we'll go from there.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, we've got the coach on the line, Peter Bugden from Craigieburn. Peter, thank you for joining us on EDFL Review. Not the result you wanted as far as win-loss, but the big picture is that you did get the result as far as staying off the bottom of the table, and we congratulate you for that.
No, we're very happy, mate. We would have loved to have won a game of football. We're not into celebrating losses, but, the boys have been fantastic, probably the last 6 or 7 weeks. So it was great, that they stuck at it today against a very good side that are going to go a long way in the final. We had
an ear on Oak Park, and we saw that they kicked the first 8 goals of the day, and it was goodbye from there. They went on to win by 89 points, I think it was, in the end. So that result was never really in doubt. Did you have someone feeding you the score, or did you want it out of sight and out of mind for the day?
No, we had someone down there, mate, just to make sure if we had to put the foot on the accelerator even more, we would have done it. But no, we had someone down there. That was important, I think, that we knew where we sat all the way through the game. So, yeah, we did that.
Peter is relieved. The best word to describe the mood amongst your boys now?
Mate, they're exhausted. Probably relieved, but they're exhausted. They played their hearts out today. We had 4 really good senior players that didn't play today. Christian McElwain, Garrett Heenan, Stefan Terzewski, and Luke Drake. So for all the young boys, we had 4 under-18s play. It was massive by the boys to really stick at it against a big, strong Taylor's Lakeside.
And Peter, we understand that you've committed and signed on again for next season as the coach. So how important was staying in Division 1 as part of that planning? You'll now have a recruitment strategy, I'm sure, and a long and big off-season from here. But how important was it that you were coming back and rebuilding for a Division 1 outfit as opposed to taking the team down to Division 2?
Oh, no, it's certainly very important, mate. But, Hawley, our president's, got to focus on us moving to Premier Division. And, we all believe that Craigieburn Football Club and, our area dictates that we should be in Premier Division. But, we've got to build a football club from the ground up. We were, no games 2 years ago, 2 games last year and 3 this year. So we are improving, but we know we've got a long way to go. And, we've certainly been recruiting hard already, and we're confident we're going to get a couple of good midfielders into the group and a couple of key forwards, and that's really what we need.
Peter, if you don't mind, I want to get your thoughts on Taylor's Lakes. You mentioned, obviously, they were good today. We haven't seen them a match of the day this year, Taylor's Lakes, and we will next week against West Meadows. What's your read on what exactly they're going to bring to the final series now?
Mate, look, I honestly think, they were in safety mode a little bit today, which certainly helped our cause, but they've got everything it takes to win a final, that's for sure. They're big, strong bodies, plenty of pace, lots of midfielders that can find plenty of the ball, and a couple of key forwards that can really take some big marks. So, mate, I would think that they'd go in favourites against West Meadows, taking today's performance out of it.
And you mentioned some of the players that were missing, Peter, but just last one before we let you go. Who were some of your best that kept you in the contest right until the last kick of the game today?
Well, big ruckman, Harry, he rucked by himself all day today, and Taylor's Lakes caught a big ground, so he was fantastic. And, some of our, really good players, Shags Bennett down in the back line, and our skipper was, again, fantastic today, Tucky. And Jeff Davies had a great game as well. So, and Nick Fletcher, one-on-one and pound for pound, he's right up there with some of the best forwards in the league. But unfortunately, he's only 5'8".
Well, enjoy the off-season, Peter. Congratulations on keeping the team up, bottom of the table for so many rounds of the season, but with 2 weeks to go, you jumped out and then you've stayed out today. Congratulations on getting the job done, and we wish you well in the off-season and preparing for 2015.
Thanks, boys, and with a bit of luck, our under-18s will get a boost now with 3 or 4 boys going back that haven't played there, so I'm sure we're going to get the whole club down behind them, and hopefully they can bring some real good happiness to BS Aiken in the next few weeks.
Geoff, thank you very much for joining us today. 1 day out from the grand final tomorrow for the Essendon Doutta Stars against Aberfeldy. It's a big occasion. It's perhaps the marquee game of EDFL junior footy. How are you personally, as the coach, feeling about the matchup in Prospect tomorrow?
Look, it is a big game. It's a fantastic occasion. We were lucky enough to have our boys get to the grand final last year, and it was a terrific day for us. And the boys are pretty tally, and we trained really well last night. And personally, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
As far as the occasion itself, I guess the players are at that age where there can still be a really high variance in body size, player weight, not so much level of skill, but perhaps level of game intelligence. It must be a challenging division to coach in. How have you found the season and the playing group this year's class, so to speak?
Yeah, fantastic. Across the board, the 6 teams that competed in Division 1 this year have been competitive for the most part. The games have been played in a terrific spirit, and you're right, the skill level's been outstanding. There's some big boys out there, but there's still some little fellas running around and getting a kick and creating some havoc. So it's been terrific to be a part of, and I just love coaching junior footy. It's great fun.
Geoff, Adem, Saricaoglu, mate, good luck tomorrow. Firstly, you mentioned last year's grand final. How did the boys go, and how are they going to, the ones that were there last year, how are they going to learn from that experience going into tomorrow?
Yeah, thanks, Adem. Well, we had 5 bottom age boys last year in the side, all of which contributed very strongly on the day. We did speak about this at some length last night with the fellas and getting their experience across into the other boys. We've got 8 bottom age boys this year who are all very excited, of course. I suppose that little bit of experience will help, but we know that the Aberfeldy boys have had vast experience across their finals in junior footy as well. So just going into the game with an open mind. Hopefully the game turns out well. Last year our boys got over the line. They were terrific on a very, very windy, horrible day up at Craigieburn, and it's a real pleasure to be travelling 5 minutes around the corner to Windy Hill this year instead. So we're really looking forward to it.
Geoff, what does it mean for you and also for the club? It's a great opportunity for yourself, obviously for the kids, but also for the club. Given they're not going to play, senior finals, it's obviously one of the biggest things for the club this year.
I guess so. We were like our little under 10 played in some finals this year, first time in a couple of years. They performed particularly well, so really good signs for the junior club coming through. We also had an under 12 team and an under 14 team get through to the first final, so we're really happy with that. There's a bit of weight of expectation on our group as there was last year, and the boys have handled that really well. What does it mean for the club going forward? I think out of the group last year, I think we've had 7 boys play a senior game so far this year as under 17s, which is extraordinary. I think it just shows that the club value the younger players around the club, and certainly Marcus and the boys have welcomed the younger group up into the senior ranks, and I think it bodes well for the footy club because if you can develop homegrown players to play senior footy, I think you're on the right foot.
And Geoff, give us 2 players to watch out for in the future through the TAC or playing some really good senior football.
Oh, you're talking about the kids who are playing senior football this year, or you're talking about the kids who are playing tomorrow?
From the kids playing tomorrow, give us 2 to watch out for in the future.
Oh, I think Frank Anthony's already played a game of TAC footy this year as an under 16. He's certainly one to watch. And like I said, Frank Campese, who's already played a game or 2 of TAC footy. He's a ripper, and Brody Myers, well, he's a cracker of a player, so he's really one to watch. Very fleet of foot and very dangerous around the goals.
Geoff, are the boys going to get a kick out of running around at Windy Hill? I don't think there were too many finals actually played at Windy Hill last year, but as we know, it's the home of EDFL footy. It's where all the big senior grand finals are played, and certainly provides for a good atmosphere because a big crowd can get into the grandstands and that. Are the boys going to get a kick out of actually playing at the home of EDFL footy?
Oh, you bet. I mean, a number of the boys went down there for a kick after school yesterday. Apparently, we didn't know about it, but they went down there for a kick and they were mucking around on the ground. So I think they are very excited about playing down at Windy Hill. I mean, who wouldn't be? It's a terrific venue. The surface is second to none in our area, that's for certain. And like you say, the grandstands and the amount of people that can potentially come along and see a terrific game of footy, well, I think that's exciting for everybody.
Now, the Essendon Doutta Stars senior team today, they've got a tough match against Aberfeldy, and they're actually leaning on a number of their homegrown players and guys that you would have coached last year or in the last couple of years. Just last week, Carl Brown, Bruno Laguda, and also Nick Chumper made their senior debuts, and they've also got a number of young players who have been up in the senior team for only a handful of games. I see Lachlan Myers is in there, Patrick Notaro as well. It really seems as though the club at the business end of the season, as they try to battle relegation, is still taking the time to have a look at what's out there in the junior ranks. And how important do you think that is, as far as maybe letting these players know that regardless of whether they stay up and avoid relegation or whether they go down to Division 1, that these are the opportunities that they can get in the future?
I think it bodes really well for the club, with the boys coming through from this year as well. There's a number of boys I think are potentially capable of playing senior footy next year. The young blokes you talk about, there's some pretty outstanding footballers in that group. A number of kids have represented Victoria at schoolboys level, played, they're at the Cannons or the Jets right now. So they're used to playing against the bigger bodies. They're well prepared, very good, smart, honest football. And I think it's terrific for the clubs given those opportunities. I think it's more than just having a look at them. I think the club honestly believes these blokes are a big part of our future. And Marcus, I think, Marcus and the selection panel would be congratulated for that.
And how would you describe the mood of the senior club at the moment? Obviously, they've got the do-or-die game in the last round against the Northern Saints, but they're a fairly steep underdog today in their head-to-head match. So do you get the feeling that Douttas will do enough to survive? They will get the win that they need, or maybe even a couple of wins? Airport West today, they're every chance of pulling off the upset. But what's your read as someone who's in the club but not actually part of the senior structure on what the mood is like within the group?
Look, I get a very positive feeling around it, particularly speaking to the members on the committee, and everyone's really buoyant about our chances to stay up. I mean, the truth is that the sides dropped a couple of games that they could have won earlier in the season, lost by less than a goal on a number of occasions. So they've been competitive for the most part. I mean, the top echelon sides have been just too good, as you can imagine, with the playing staff that they've got. The feeling around the club's very positive. I'm very hopeful of performing very well today. Like I said, young Carl Brown's playing his second game today. He snagged 4 goals last week in a brilliant debut. Bruno will be back at the Cannons today, unfortunately for Douttas, I guess, but he was terrific. And Tommy Wallace has been playing beautiful football, and they've got a young bloke back in today called Pete Natalianis, and he is a ripper.
And just lastly, on your opponents tomorrow, Aberfeldy, they went through the under-16 season 13-1, 338%, so they were pretty dominant, and they won by arm's length in the qualifying final out at East Sunbury. And looking at the results earlier in the season, they got you by just 11 points and also 17 points in the other two head-to-heads through the course of the season. So you've been close without actually getting over the line. How would you describe the Aberfeldy under-16s as a unit before you go and take them on tomorrow?
We've got ultimate respect for Abbas. Their playing list is very deep. It's hard to find a weakness in their group. You're right, they've got across the line against us a couple of times. We were a little unfortunate to lose our half-back flanker right on half-time in the first final. He went across, he's Dante DeGiglio, and he's a river footballer. He's done an ACL after the season. That's really unfortunate for us, but you know what, the boys are confident of their chances. If we play 80 minutes of footy, we're a chance. But, hats off to Aberfeldy on their season. They're a great bunch of boys. They play a really good game of footy, so we'll have to be on our mettle to match it with them, I think.
Well, it's going to be a great afternoon at Windy Hill. 4 junior grand finals back-to-back, and all capped off with the under-16 game from 2:20pm. Geoff Maddern, coach of the under-16 Division 1 Essendon Doutta Stars team, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate your insight into the division and also what's going on at the club. It sounds like there are a lot of good things going on through the junior program, and we wish you all the best in tomorrow's grand final.
Pleasure, fellas. Thanks for having me.